Hey there, my friend. Welcome to the Lori Robertson podcast. I am your host, Lori Robertson, and today we are still talking everything property preservation. I am doing a series on what property preservation is and how you can get started and the different type of aspects of property preservation. So today we're going to be talking about estimates and repairs division, ERD. And I did an episode yesterday on the two type of contractors that you need in your property preservation business. So if you haven't checked that out, please go back and do so. I thought about it. I could have included this estimate and repairs division in that, but I wanted to make it a separate episode. Just because it's going over the type of estimates and repairs and what you need to do. So just in brief, these type of work orders, the estimate and repairs, require that you have a residential builder's license. It's a little more advanced. So if you are in property preservation and you're ready to tackle on bigger projects and you're ready to make more money and you absolutely have a residential builder's license, then this is the division that you need to access in property preservation. So I wanted to go over this, and that's why I wanted it to make it a separate series episode, I should say, because it's the other parts of property preservation. You don't need a builder's license, right? You don't need any type of experience. You don't need a license. You don't have to sell. You don't have to do any of those things. But this part of the property preservation is something that you have to put a little bit of effort and a little bit of money in order to do these type of repairs, because this is where the huge money is in property preservation. You can make excellent money without doing this type of work, but if you decide that you want to do it, you can make a lot of money in this, right? So these type of work orders require, like I said, that you have a residential business license. The estimates and repair division entails insurance scope completions and are usually the larger, more profitable orders in property preservation, right? So you can get work orders to demolish properties, demolition. You can rebuild properties. You can tear them down, and you can rebuild decks and chimneys, remedy flood or fire damage, or complete full roof replacement. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear the planes flying overhead, but it's early in the morning, and the planes are just heading out because I live really close to an airport. So I do apologize if you hear that. But hey, that's the part of doing these episodes early in the morning. But anyway, this obviously is where you can make the most money because of the size of the orders. They pay way more money. Okay. This is where you'll need to find subcontractors. Now you have contractors that work actually for you, but now you're going to have to find subcontractors, right, to help out with the jobs, and they have to have a license. So it's a difference. You can decide which one of these service lines that you would like to start with, right? So my suggestion is to start with one, learn everything there is to know about it, master it, and then add another one, and so on. You may find that, doing one more than the other, that you may like doing one more than the other, or you may want to do all of them. And that's what I said. So technically, this is part of a service line in property preservation that I did not mention earlier. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want to, as a beginner, because this masterclass that I have is for beginners. It's for people who's just starting. And people who are just starting usually do not start with this particular service line because, like I said, you have to get a builder's license. You have to have a license in order to do these type of things because there's code that you need to adhere to make sure you don't have code violations because of these type of work orders. So what you need to do is just make sure that you pace yourself and do the best, most professional job you can in whatever service line you choose, whether it's the ones that don't require a lot or this one here. But particularly, you have to do the best and most professional job because you'll get more jobs from that particular company, and two, the word of mouth will start to go out because even though you're working for particular companies, when you do the work for the actual residential property, the banks are going to be aware, or the lending companies are going to be aware of if you do a good job or a bad job. And that's going to make or break your business, because if you're not doing your most professional job, you're not going to get any more work orders. So, briefly, I want to touch on what a foreclosure is, because I don't think I actually did that in the first few episodes. And the reason why is because this particular line ends with, now that you know what property preservation is. And if you don't know what it is, that's the very first episode in this series. So go back and check that out. So now I'm ending it with, now that you know what property preservation is, now I'm going to share with you what a foreclosure is. And that's why you have all of these different service lines, because if the property is foreclosed on, these are the things that you have to do in order to get the property in line to for the banks to sell, right? So I'm going to share with you exactly what the foreclosure is, so that it'll kind of wrap up the whole aspect of the few episodes that we've already gone over. And then I'm actually going to do a little recap as well at the end, to tell you, to go back over everything that property preservation entails, right? So just to close this particular episode out, what is a foreclosure, that you may ask? And you may have asked this from day one. I know what property preservation is. You've explained it to me. I know what the service lines are. I know what type of contractors I need. But why do I need all of this? It's because a foreclosure is what happens when a borrower fails to pay the mortgage on a property, right? The property was likely either abandoned voluntarily or deeded to the bank. And if the owner can't pay off the outstanding debt or sell the property via short sale, then the property then goes into a foreclosure auction. And if the property doesn't sell there, the lending institution may take possession of it. And so that's where, if you circle all the way back to the beginning, where property preservation comes in at, right? And I know I said I'm going to recap all of it at the end of the series, but I'm going to recap it here about what property preservation actually is. And again, property preservation is the process of caring for the interior and the exterior of a foreclosed property, right? What I just shared with you about what a foreclosure is. So once that property is foreclosed on, and sometimes even before that, you will go and take pictures of the outside of the property, right? Because the banks need to know if somebody is still in that property, what the property looks like. So when they start to do the preservation of the property for the banks, they'll already have an idea of what they're looking at, right? So that's why I said the property can be vacant or occupied. But property preservation business work with banks and other companies such as lenders who have seized the property due to unpaid mortgages and or loans. And this is also to provide services such as repairs, inspections, insurance claims in order to keep the property up and running, and to make sure that it's properly maintained. So if it needs to be sold, it can be done immediately. And also, property preservation may also be referred to as mortgage field services. And since this could be the beginning of your property preservation journey, that's why I wanted to go back and to explain to you what a foreclosure is and what property preservation is as a whole. So I hope this information was very valuable to you. And if so, check out the description for different information. If you have any questions, we can set up a one-on-one consultation. If you want my ebook, that's in there to give you, if you want to take a maybe do-it-yourself type approach, then you can check out my ebook or my master class that I have. And I have actually a sale going on as well. So this is the perfect time to get into property preservation. And so my next episode is going to be about, let's see, what do I want? I know. I think this would be a great time to do an episode on the basics of how to start your own property preservation business. So if this is something that is interesting to you, please, by all means, take a part in the poll if there is one, and also leave your comments, ask any questions. Please put notification bell on. Share this with anybody that you know that this may be a business that they're interested in doing. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.